Claude Code called this a death spiral. And this happened to me today. And I lost 3 months of work. So I'm going to explain to you what happened, what caused it, and what became of it. So let me back up. 3 months ago, I learned how to code. Prior to this, I had no coding experience whatsoever. So watch the video as to how to use Claude Code to code. So step by step, I learned how to do it, and I decided to build a product. And the product I'm actually using right now, you can see it on screen, kind of at work. It kind of puts in background videos into the background. But anyhow, I launched it a couple of days ago. People were starting to use it, so got really excited, right? So what happened was last night it crashed. I said no big deal. I crashed, and I turned off and on the computer. Now I don't have it running locally. It's actually very far away. It's a few thousand kilometers away, maybe a few hundred miles away or kilometers. Um, and I do it remotely. And so I turn it off and on, and that usually does the trick, right? But this time I turned it off and on, and it didn't work. And I said, well, that's strange, right? So I use Cloud Go to go into it, and I would turn it off and on, and Cloud Code would be able to talk to it for maybe like 5 seconds, but then it was shut out altogether. And I said, okay, well, that doesn't work. How can I get in, right? And to you have to be able to get in to figure out what's going on, but I wasn't able to get in at all. And because it was so far away, it's not like I can sit beside a computer and stick some cables in and try to fix it. Nor would I know how to do that, just because, remember, I just learned how to code three months ago, and this I was starting to panic. So, but finally, something just clicked. I tried different ways, and you'll see here. Look, it says that it wasn't. So I had to kill something. I had to kill the Docker. So I ended up killing it. Bang! Like the first try didn't work, but the second try worked using a different window. So it finally worked. And once I got in there, then I asked them, okay, well, what happened? But it wouldn't give me a correct answer, right? It started to give me some kind of billing thing, right? But I said, as you can see here, I said it doesn't make sense. This billing thing, the way it was set up, it was working fine, even 2 months ago, right? Why all of a sudden now? And then it gave me some lame excuse. But finally I said, okay, it spit something out, made me think. I said, yeah, yesterday it started crashing, it started blinking like crazy. Could you use that hint? And I said, oh yeah. So this is exactly what happened. So basically, in this software that I made, in this app that I made, it renders videos. It kind of stitches in the background video, and it comes back to you, right? And that takes time. And I wanted to show me that it was processing. And if it's not processing, then basically they fire up another instant to restart it, right? So process, it's finished, okay, finished, and it stops, right? But sometimes I would hit process and I didn't really like the video, so I would delete it, right? Now, within lies the problem, right? Because because the processing wasn't finished, it would actually not come back with a completed, right? So if I deleted it, right, it says, okay, 7 minutes later, the process isn't finished, so let's spin up another job, right? So it keep going. So it'll go on with 2, right? Then 3 every 7 minutes to 4. So as you can see here, I have in my remote server, my remote computer, I have 8 gigs of RAM, and it will, it'll almost 8 gigs. It'll, use up most of it, right? And that's why I couldn't log in, right? Because I found out afterwards that I had 100 plus of these jobs going, right? And that's what seizes up the computer, right? Uh, so again, normally if it didn't seize up, I would go in, turn it off, and reset it, right? But just because there were so many background jobs going, um, I couldn't even get a chance to kind of log in and turn things off, right? I turn it off, turn it back on, and I have a split second to log in. But as soon as I log in, it shows that I log in, but I was prohibited from doing anything. So I couldn't really turn anything off or discover anything, right? So I could have been locked out on my computer, but luckily this worked. So naturally, I kind of freaked out. I said, okay, I'm glad I was able to turn it off. The first, Claude Code couldn't turn it off, but the second Claude Code was able to turn it off. It figured it out somehow, right? But I want to prevent this from happening again. So I asked Claude Code, and here's the prompt that I used. So it came back with an answer with these three things. So this is how you can prevent it from happening as well. Anyhow, I learned my lesson. So remember, set up these safeguards, kind of like what I showed you right here. And also, this making this app has been very fun. It's been educational. So I'm gonna continue. So I'm gonna document what I've been doing, kind of share with you what I've learned, kind of what's been going wrong, and how many people are using it and how many people are downloading it, and just see what I'm doing. Just follow me. I'll just show you what I've been doing. So good news is that I was able to get out of that death spiral. But for like half an hour to 45 minutes, I really thought that I was going to lose 3 months of work and have to start from scratch. But luckily, right now I've put up those safeguards, so hopefully it won't happen again. Talk to you later.